And so, Moses and Aaron went back to Pharaoh, and did as the Lord commanded them, and Aaron cast down the staff before Pharaoh. And the staff turned into a serpent. And Pharaoh called for his sorcerers and wise men. And the sorcerers did the same thing.
Look, the serpent of Moses swallows up the others.
Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he refused to let the people go. The following morning, the first plague strikes Egypt. The river becomes blood. And because the river was turned to blood, all the fish that were in the river died. It lasted 7 days, and the Lord struck Egypt with one plague after another, each one worse than the last. And even after all these things, Pharaoh's heart was still hardened. And finally, the 10th and final plague takes place. By this time, God gave the Israelites much favor in the sight of the Egyptians, and Moses became a very great man in Egypt. Then Moses said,
Thus saith the Lord, about midnight, I will go out in the midst of Egypt, and all the firstborn of Egypt shall perish, from the firstborn of Pharaoh to the firstborn of all beasts. There shall be a great cry throughout Egypt, the likes of which was never heard before, nor shall it ever be again. Every Israelite shall put the blood of a lamb on every doorpost and lintel of their house, for I will pass through Egypt, and smite all of the firstborn. And when I see the blood on the doorpost and lintel, I will pass over your house.
And the firstborn of Egypt perished, including the firstborn of Pharaoh. He lost his only heir to the throne.
Go out from among my people. You and the children of Israel, go, and serve the Lord, as you have said.
O Lord God, with a strong hand you delivered us out of the house of bondage. We will go with our young and with our old, we will go with our flocks and with our herds.
And so, on the following morning, the children of Israel gathered themselves at the gates of Egypt for their departure.
Remember this day, O Israel, when the Lord has delivered you out of bondage.
And Moses led the people across the desert, until they came to the Red Sea. And the Israelites gathered at the Red Sea, when suddenly,
Moses, look!
And the people were losing faith, but Moses said,
Stand still, and see the salvation of the Lord.
And the Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all night. And the waters were divided. Meanwhile, the children of Israel were safely on the other side, and the Egyptians tried to follow. And the waters returned and covered the chariots, the horsemen, and all the army of Pharaoh, and not one of them remained. In the 3rd month, after the children of Israel came out of Egypt, on the same day, they came to the wilderness of Sinai, and Moses went up to God, to receive his law. The 10 commandments,